Erick from AHA, Americans Helping Americans, and AMP Live, coming to you live today for Wellness Wednesday in the AMP Live Real Estate Show. We're gonna talk about some maybe some health, the health of real estate, your personal health, a couple other things in regards to just in general mortgages. Are they going up? Are they going down? I'm Erick Paul of AHA, Americans Helping Americans, one America at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track, together with you and others across the United States of America, and AMP Live, the American Mentee Program, powered by AMP Live Media, sponsored by VIP Execs Realty and Lending. Step into excellence. Look forward to, chatting with you. Watch these videos all the way through. Pass them on. I appreciate it. Pass on the good word, like, love, and all that other good stuff that goes with it. We appreciate it because that's our cause and mission. Our cause and mission is to help our fellow Americans across the United States of America, whether they're wanting to get into the business and do real estate, or whether you're in a situation where you have a property, maybe it's a divorce or a probate or pre-foreclosure, or a property that's, that needs a lot of work, or you just don't want to use a real estate agent, or you're whatever it may be. Because a lot of stuff's going on, obviously, in the real estate industry, along with, just equity funds and commercial real estate and all kinds of stuff's going on thanks to social media and this beautiful, lovely stuff here, right? So I'll chat and we'll talk about some of the things I've been going through and what I've been seeing throughout the United States of America, and share some things with you too, some pro tips. I'm going to share some pro tips. So if you go out into the area, and wherever you're at, it doesn't matter. I always suggest try to do deals in your own backyard, because if you can't do deals in your own backyard, then how are you going to do them across state or virtually? Yes, there's process and systems for that. You can get it done, which is best to have boots on the ground. Can you work with the seller? Sure. Can they take videos and pictures with you? As long as you build a relationship with them online or offline or Zoom now, they can see you and all that good stuff. And it does work. A lot of people are trying to make offers on the phone. I get it. AI is kind of running rampant, and it's like, man, 1 out of 10 people are going, this is AI. I mean, I even get direct messages through social media, and I go, sounds like a robot. Maybe it's not. Is this AI? What do you mean AI? Things of that nature. And even me, right? Because I probably talk like a robot. And had a conversation today. It was pretty cool. He was, we're talking about business and things of that nature, right? And I get it, right? Some people are awesome at typing all that stuff up, and they can read it and emotionally attaches them into the heart, and they can get the point across, right? And that's beautiful. Those people are writers. Those are good people for copying and all that good stuff, right? Others are like, hey, it is what it is. It may not come across. It may come across impersonal. It may come across get lost in translation. And the phone's that way too. You can get things done with the phone a lot quicker. You can vet your buyers, investors, sellers, and all that good stuff a lot quicker. You get a feel for them with the inflections of the voice and what they sound like. Hey, do you want to work with them? They got an attitude, or they're going to give you the MLM thing. Hey, I got to go. Let me call you right back. I'm so busy. I got all this stuff to do. I get it. We're all busy. But when you take time to chat with somebody, give them the respect, that's what I do. And maybe I stay on the phone probably too long. I'm not going to lie, right? But I want to give them the respect of saying, hey, look, I'm here to listen. That's cool. Right? And I might miss some calls. I might miss an appointment. I might miss a mentee or a student that I'm working with, right? Or a buyer or a seller. And it is what it is. That's part of the business, right? You could, put a bell on everything. It's 5 minutes, bing, move, 5 minutes, bing. I get it. Push that volume, bam, 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 knock it out. That's cool too. That works until you get burned out, or until you find someone else and keep, burning and churning bodies. Boom, 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 right? Because it's like a brokerage. A regular private real estate firm is like a brokerage, right? Because you're going to have acquisition department, dispo department. You're going to have some marketing and a lead transaction, or a lead coordinator and things of that nature. Secretary, maybe some marketing, social media. They all come in and it works for your business, right? Little core of 5, 6, 7 people, and expand and grow off of that. Or you're just going to be the one-man show, the one-woman show. That's cool too, right? In this business, you can do that. I mean, I had conversations recently with some awesome people out there. We got a new Facebook group, our new group that's in regards to just deals. That's what we're going to talk about today. Deals, because tomorrow's Thursday. It's a sales day. It's a field day, a sales day. So we're out looking at deals, making offers, doing whatever we need to do with sellers, investors, and mentees and onboarding and things of that nature. So we're definitely doing our part to help our fellow Americans throughout the United States of America, because that is our cause and mission. Everybody has to have a cause and mission in regards to just moving forward, right? Now, I was talking about some things in regards to like retirement, right? I think I talked to somebody, I don't know what it was, I forgot what we were discussing. And they go, I'm never going to retire, is what the gentleman said. No matter what, I'm going to do this, do that, and do this, but I'll never retire, because I know once I retire, I'll probably die, right? And that's what everybody needs to have, a why. Everybody needs to have something to live for, a person, a thing, whatever it is, a passion of some sort, just living life to the fullest. I don't know. We haven't figured that out. We're human beings, right? We're not using all of our brain capacity, except for maybe some people on the planet, right? I don't have to mention who they are, right? But they're out there, and they're doing great things to help the economy and to help the world and help the United States of America. I'm not going to make it political, but I am going to put this down there. You can hashtag #GetErickPaul, hashtag #GetErickPaul is right there. You can also go right over there, scan that QR code, because we do have one-on-one mentoring. We are looking for about 5 people only, 5 people to come on board and work with us. It's a selection process. If it's something less than 6 months to a year and partnering up on deals, then hey, we got something for you that gets you ramped up very quickly in the first 30 days, bonusing in a couple of weeks there of one-on-one mentoring with coaching. Yes, you have videos, PDFs, all that good stuff, but the most important part is having the one-on-one, because when you get stuck and there's pieces that are missing in the puzzle, us are going to be there to help you with that, okay? It's a beautiful, lovely thing. And you're not going to win them all, right? You got to stay positive. You got to stay focused. People are going to say things that whatever it is to, get into your brain, you can't allow them. You got to have different walls, right? There's a wall that nobody gets in, and then there's another wall that only some people in your family get in, and then there's another wall where nobody else gets in, then another wall where, hey, people can get in and do their thing or whatever, but you got to have some walls there to regulate that stuff. And it's hard to stay positive, right? You got to stay positive, got to stay motivated. For me, it's reading. I read, I study. I'm not a holy roller, but I do believe in God, and I am a God-fearing man. So, whatever scriptures or whatever things are tied into the books that you read, for me, it's like the books I read have those things or God are into it, and and the power of positiveness and action and doing the right thing, integrity, all that good stuff. I get it. We're human beings. We're all going to have faults, but as I always say, God doesn't make junk, right? So everybody's awesome, including yourself. You're awesome. Everybody else out there is awesome, and everybody has bad days. And that's the thing in this business, right? If you got people that are trying to sell their property, or maybe they're like, man, I'm tired. I got all these lowball offers, and this is happening. I had an escrow, then it fell out, and the wholesaler didn't tell me that it was, that they're wholesalers, and what the heck is a wholesaler, all that good stuff, right? Or you're trying to sell properties, and you got to vet everybody. You got to vet the wholesalers. You got to vet the investors. You have to vet even the sellers, right? Because sometimes the sellers aren't who they say they are, and you got to run title or title profile. You just got to do your homework a little bit. And then it comes down to negotiating and getting to the house, and the art of walking the house and building a relationship with the seller. If that's the case, you can try to make offers on the phone, but you can get better deals if you go belly to belly. Plus, you can actually build that relationship and actually truly see what it's like to help a fellow American, because it's a beautiful, lovely thing, right? When you help them, and I've had them, cry. I've had them thank me. I've had them call us back several years later and say, "Oh my God, thank you very much. My life has changed because of you and what you guys have done." So that's paying into the book of good, as I say. Not to do it on purpose. It's a byproduct of what you do, as long as you keep moving forward. And things are going to happen. There's some crazy people in the industry. Crazy things are happening in the industry, right? States are trying to regulate wholesalers and stuff, and tell them what they can and cannot do against. That's government, overreach and all that good stuff. Look, what right do they have to tell you who you can do and what you can do, right? It's your business. It's your life, right? It's bad enough they can tell you, hey, you got to have a driver's license. No, it's America. You should be able to drive for free. I was born here, right? And if I'm 5th generation, 6th generation, everybody else should be, hey, what's the DMV for? Hell with the DMV, right? What do you need it for? It's just a money-making scheme at the end of the day, self-regulated through a government. And, I think it was a government entity at one time. They broke that off so they can keep it a third party, and they learned something from that. Hey, we'll just do it all over the place, as you can see, right? And whether it's that or banks, what else? They got all kinds of stuff out there that gets lobbied and passed into law and all kinds of stuff. And commercial loans, residential loans, there's laws to protect the sellers and stuff. And and then buyers and renters, and then there's laws if you do commercial loans, and they can do some crazy shit that's really going to hurt the borrower at the end of the day. But but they get away with it, right? So it is what it is. There's all kinds of crazy stuff out there, and I always say, I used to be for the banks. I say, look, you sign the document, you sign on the dotted line, you're an adult, deal with it, right? But then after the years and getting into this business, saying, man, the banks are doing some crazy stuff. They don't care. You're just a number. Some people are here, well, I'm going to call my bank. I've been with them for so many years that, like they care about them. They don't. The bank's like, whatever. You're a number, you're a loan number, along with tens and thousands of other loans. And the most important person is the investor to make sure that they're getting payments on that interest rates and all that good stuff, and loaning out people's money and savings accounts and all that good stuff, right? So it is what it is. At the end of the day, Facebook's doing its thing. It's not supposed to be regulating and things of that nature. So we'll see how free the First Amendment rolls when I chat about some of this stuff. And the Second Amendment is what it is to protect the First Amendment. And then we got the Constitution, rock and roll, right? So beautiful, lovely stuff. I'm going to have something special for you. It's called Surfing for Deals. So if you're having a hard time finding deals, or you're finding, because there's a lot of stuff coming down the wire, right? A lot of wholesalers are writing all kinds of deals and stuff, but they're a little tight, or they're crazy looking houses, or they're gutted, or the foundations are issues, or I've seen some of these houses, man, wanting 80 to 100,000 in the Midwest, and going, you got chips coming down the ceiling, right? They're probably lead paint chips, right? And you got kids in there, and you got a family in there, and you're going, man, that house should be condemned. It should be torn down. It's not, it shouldn't be legal to live in that thing, but I guess, again, that's oversight, overstepping, right? It's your property. Live in it how you want to. But, it seems crazy. I'm like, hey, that property worth $8,000. That's about it. Not 80. And I remember about maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, maybe it was, about maybe 7 or 8. Those properties were $5,000 to $6,000, $7,000, right? And now they're going up. But the cycle is going to start turning. Things are already happening. Properties are staying on the market a little bit longer. Sellers are doing their thing. Buyers are trying to do their thing, right? There's probates out there, millennials and baby boomers selling, trying to get rid of the houses, or they pass away and kids don't want them. That's starting to happen and trickle. What else we got? There's pre-foreclosures, NODs all over the United States of America, including our own backyard. A lot of people are afraid of California because of the price points and all that other good stuff, and a bunch of regulations and crazy things that, that California does. You have to, it is what it is, right? I don't know what I think some people call it, Commie Cali or Cali Commie or whatever, because of all the laws and all the crazy, stupid stuff they do in LA County. And then you got to, like, every county's got to, fight to get certain things so you can send your kids to school and make sure they're safe, right? So you can, do what you need to do. I like Texas, you can carry a weapon or firearm, right? In other states, that's what it should be. And their crime rate's low. They understand and respect that stuff. Of course, it could be crazy, at the end of the day, when you get somebody, it happens. It's just what it is, right? But also, what do we got? So beautiful Southern California. That's where we're located here. We're in this little studio here. I usually like to go out on Wellness Wednesday. They got a couple places out here in the Inland Empire where they got the fruit and they got the CBD and they got food and they got snacks and they got all that cool stuff. People walking around. It's beautiful. The air is awesome. Not as much smog as we used to have, right? A long, long time ago. Now we're working some numbers here on some deals that we're going to be hitting tomorrow and in Texas. So we're looking for stuff in Southern California, all 4 counties, LA County, but only the good stuff in LA County, San Bernardino County, yes, even the high desert, and LA County, the high desert as well. We got, Riverside County, Orange County, all in that area. We're looking for properties that are fixer-uppers, newer properties, carpet tile paint, 2,000 and up. Or if they're older type homes, we'll look at them. This depends on the structure. Not going to want to add square footage unless we get that and send it off to someone else. We're looking at autism houses. In other words, if it's an overbuilt house, kind of like Downey was doing several years ago, they take 2 lots, tear 2 houses down, build a gigantic house, and then you can't sell the son of a bitch because it's overbuilt. So we're looking for that. We're looking for some houses that maybe have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bedrooms. If they're a couple of stories, it's okay, or triple story, whatever, because it's just the autism houses. If it's assisted living, they got to be one floor, right? In other words, a single level. And so we're looking for some of that as well in Southern California, as well as just fix and flip, buy and hold stuff. Mostly fix and flip, unless we're going to arbitrage or do an Airbnb or maybe a co-living type thing. or assisted living, not interested in just the straight up rentals. Rentals, cool, and maybe in the Midwest. If you got multifamily as well, send them down the wire. Definitely post them in the group that we got now. It is a private group. If you can get in there and just share that stuff, right? Share your deals. If you got questions, you got it. It will answer. Hey, Subto, or is there a better way you want me to, or you want us to look at a deal and underwrite it for you? And go, hey, we'll either buy it from you or we'll give you some direction. And go, hey, this is what I suggest. Maybe do this, and let me know how it goes, right? And if you need help, definitely reach out. Okay, so I'm going to move on to here. The art of the deal, creative real estate investing. Welcome to right here. Subto, fix, flip, buy, and hold. Learn the best strategy for you. That's the topic of today. Is like, well, what is the best strategy? Subto, subject to existing financing. Remember, Subto could be subject to existing financing, subject to the taxes, subject to whatever the hell you want it to be. And then it can be tied to subject to the existing financing for some seller financing. And then you can sell it to a homesteader or sell it to an investor and, wrap that in arbitrage, the interest rates and all that cool stuff. You can also fix and flip. Fix and flips out there. I noticed that there's a trend of wholesalers that are starting to, they've always wanted to fix and flip, but they started wholesaling. And then even then there was fix and flippers that moved to wholesaling because they got sick and tired of fixing and flipping and trying to find properties and spreads and contractors and pain in the ass, all that good stuff goes with it. And they're like, we would just wholesale. So, but if you're wholesaling and you're kind of new, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years maybe, or under, then you're like, hey, you know what? Eventually that's my goal. I want to fix and flip. I want to buy and hold. I want to get some multi-family or something, right? Or Airbnb or whatever, all these awesome, beautiful, lovely things that are out there. It's called creative real estate investing. So it's an umbrella of creative real estate investing and everything that flies underneath it. So you're not trying to be jack of all trades. You're not trying to be the master of all and end up being the master of none. No, creative real estate is the jam. So that is the umbrella. And then you hyper focus on what you're good at. Pick some, because every vertical marketing works. Every type of creative real estate investing works in different states. I get it. You got to do what you got to do. Figure out what works for you, rinse and repeat. Get a boiler template and just rinse and repeat. Find the different escrow companies and title companies that are willing to work with you. And once you find one cool, until they either disappear, run out of money, close down, or if the market takes a shit, then a lot of them are going bye-bye, right? And it's funny because a lot of them will have attitudes and, oh, I'm so busy, I got this and that. Oh, yeah, we can't do that. We don't do that anymore. But when the market takes a shit and there's no business, they're like, oh, please, I need business. Right? You know, it's kind of like that Wolf of Wall Street, right? When they're going to work a deal and they're like, hey, bend over and a little bit of, take the Vaseline. They're like, hey, they'll do whatever for a deal. So just remember, be humble. Shit happens in this world, good, bad, and ugly. And you just got to have to keep on moving forward and keep on fighting. Get up when you're down, get up and keep on getting up. And, that's just life, right? Even if you got bigger problems, even if you're a multimillionaire and gazillionaire, they'll tell you the same stuff. You just got different sets of problems and different types of stress, but it's there. So what else we got? Buy and hold. Buy and hold, right? That's what everybody wants to do. You want to buy and hold. You want to cash flow, either single families, properties, quads, multifamily, commercial. So, but eventually you work up to that, right? And some people just go straight into it. It takes a little bit longer, but they can do it. Anything is doable, just as long as you set your mind to it, hyper-focus, and go for it. You'll get it done. And then, surround yourself with people that can help you out. That's pretty much it, right? But it's got to be the right people, and there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of freaking noise, right? It's kind of like white noise. It's like, just vibrating. Sometimes it gets louder, and sometimes it disappears, and sometimes like, wow, what the hell? What's going on, right? So buy and hold, cool stuff. Single family, use leverage, which is subject to buy those properties and buy them on terms and make up back payments and things of that nature, and help out people and seller finance. And it is what it is. The negotiating parts, is my favorite part. But at the same token, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Then you're like, man, that person's sweating, their mouth is foaming, right? And they're like, maybe they're dirty as shit as well. And you go, well, drink some water and then take a bath, right? Well, they're stubborn. They go, no, I don't need any water. No, I don't need this. I don't need that. This is what I want. If I can't get that, then it's not going to happen. And they either will, shit will happen and it won't happen, or they'll pass away and die, or they'll, let the house go to the bank, or, something, whatever, just from being stubborn. But at the end of the day, there's solutions. They just got to be able to not be so greedy and take what they can get and know when someone's trying to help them, right? So I get that too, right? So there's a lot of stuff out there. I hate to see that happen. It's kind of sad, but there's some angry people out there, and it happens, right? So I guess, I don't know. I've just been different. I've always smiled. I've always looked at the positive things, even when I was a kid, and when I was younger, in grade school and in high school, and into the 20s and 30s, and the rest is history, as they say. Sure, we all get depressed. We all get a little tired and burned out, and things happen. But there's no reason to be an asshole to other people, right? Unless they're an asshole to you. It's the golden rule. Treat others as you would like to be treated, right? And sometimes, you pick your battles. If you're going to be an asshole, then I'm going to be an asshole, right? If you're going to be an asshole, then maybe I'll say, hey, you're having a bad day. I definitely get it. I understand. Hopefully it can make your day and fire you up and motivate you and move on with your life and stay in touch. I'm cool as long as, you don't, I've always been like that, right? And just reach out and, even with sellers, go do something because someone told them, blew some smoke up their ass. And they said this and that. They're going to do this and that. And 30 days later, they're like, hey, how's it going? You get that property sold? No. Can you help me out? I'm sorry for being an asshole last time. Did I burn my bridge? And, you willing to work with me still? Of course, hey, I'll work with you. But, just gotta, just take the advice and it's cool. I'm not going to try to stick it to you and burn you and try to, nickel and dime you. The bottom line is, you're further off for whatever reason. It didn't sell. As long as the numbers are all going to change, of course, you got to renegotiate everything. And it happens, right? But that's part of the jam is follow up. Money's in the follow up, right? The fortune's in the follow up. So you just got to keep on following up to, to work those leads. Speed to lead is the thing. I know that's that's a term now, right? I think there's a company called Speed to Lead or something. But back in the day, even now, it is speed the lead. You get the lead, you move forward. Otherwise, they'll ghost you. Someone else will get them. An agent will get them. Your competition will get them, or they'll just forget and they won't call back. And it happens. So you just got to keep moving forward and remember, people wake up in a different world every single day. Sometimes when they have issues and trauma and drama, God bless them, pray for them, and all that good stuff. Even others across the United States of America, pray for them as well. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next little slide here. Let me see. We got something here I'm going to pull up. I think there might be a QR code for some surfing for deals. Oh, I might have it here. Here you go. Maybe it's right here. Nope, right here. So we got Erick's Creative Domination Live Networking Meetup. You can join that. Scan that QR code right there. It's absolutely free. Going to have that tomorrow. I believe it's at 7 p.m. And we're going to talk about creative real estate investing, how you can get into creative real estate investing, Q&A and all that good stuff, kind of like a live meetup type stuff. I'm going to share what I'm about, who I'm about, what I do, what we do, what our cause and mission is. And if you want to get some education, you want to learn, you want to come aboard, it is a selection process. We're going to offer that to you in a proposal towards the end. And hey, but no obligation whatsoever, right? And that's that. So scan that QR code. It's awesome. I love creative real estate investing, and you should too once you get to it or understand it. If you don't understand it, it's okay. Just set your mindset. Say, this is what I'm going to learn. And a lot of my stuff just came by accident from having your back up against the wall. You do your best work, and you're like, boom, I got to do this. I got to do this, do that. And then when you figure something out, then you figure out the process and the systems, and then you rinse and repeat and do what you need to do. All right, so I'm going to scan. I'll go over to the next slide here. That's going to be Surfing for Deals. This is for free. Going to give it to you. Get instant access to my free Surfing for Deals. Help you blow up your phone, email, and text with leads that want and need to sell. If you're a real estate investor or wholesaler, it's the ones that you want or need to sell. The ones that want to sell, pass them off to your agents or brokers, or if you are an agent doing this stuff, then boom, you get the best of both worlds. You can take them down as a principal, or you can take them down as an agent and list them, right? So beautiful, beautiful, lovely thing. Just got to, get with your broker, make sure everything's good to go for you and all that good stuff. Follow the rules and disclose is what I would recommend first and foremost. But you can scan that right there. Scan that QR code. Boom. Surfing for Deals. I'm actually going to put it in the chat too. I think I might have that link. Yeah, there it is. Point. There you go. It's a little bit far. Well, we got 24 minutes in. Okay, so I'm about 6 more minutes, 30 minutes. I don't take too much of your time. Time is valuable. And that's maybe it's going to be the theme for 2026, right? Get in, get out. Boom, boom, wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. I don't know. Right? But I love chatting with people. I love talking with people. I love helping people if we can. This is more of a passion than anything else at the end of the day. Surfing for Deals, there it is. If you download it, there's going to be a video. It's going to show you what to do. You can copy and paste. You go to different websites, and it's going to help you blow up your phone, email, and text. And these are all free leads. A little bit of elbow grease, right? There's software that's out there that you can use. If you need it, let me know. It doesn't cost that much. Others charge like $1,500 for it. Found some websites and a resource where it's very, very cheap. It was like 40, 50 bucks or $100 a month or something like that, or even less, right? I think you can pay for a whole year, and it's less than probably the price of a steak dinner, right? For 2 or 3 people. So it's pretty awesome. And you can use that. Of course, we got text and all that other good stuff. So scan that. Get your surfing for deals. It's free. It's my gift just to say for sticking around and watching. Watch this always all the way to the end, because I'm always going to be dropping like some pro tips and things of that nature, right? Now we have a spreadsheet that we use, which is right here to break down deals. So you need to learn how to. So once you find the deals, then you got to learn how to underwrite the deals and figure out what the ARV is, the after repair value. A lot of people ask, well, how do you figure out what the repairs are going to be in a place that you have not seen until you get there and then take a contract? You can do all the good stuff, but it's good to get a lot of the intel when you're on the phone. At least that's what we do. We call it the mission is the submission. And we take about 10, 15, 20 minutes to build a relationship with them until they're willing to tell us everything from birth until now. If that doesn't happen, then we give them 3 chances to redeem themselves. And if that doesn't happen, then, hey, we'll give them the old dollar tone, right? Dude, good luck to you. Leave that for someone else, because they're going to be a pain in the butt, and they're just going to make the transaction pretty shitty. All right. So, but with that said, you underwrite the deals and make sure. But how you figure out? Here's a pro tip for you, right? You can do stuff. Everybody's a little bit different, right? With the square footage and $20, $25, $30, $35 the square foot. Luxury $50, $60, $70 square foot. If you're doing other stuff like that, co-living and putting in partition walls, all kinds of crazy stuff, that's going to be totally different. But just for the standard fix and flip, a cosmetic fix and flip that's maybe built in the 2000s or so, easy, get in, kitchens, bathrooms, floors, walls, a little love to the front yard, a little love to the backyard, and boom, you're good to go. $15 if it's just managing labor and materials, and you're probably going, that's really low, of course. But you're managing. You're spending a lot of time building a crew and babysitting and all that good stuff. And then there's $20, $25 if it's maybe in an area where there's a lot of rentals, kind of, sort of. It's not the greatest area, but it's okay. And you can, you're not going to put, quartz and all kinds of crazy stuff in there, but you're going to put some good stuff in there so you can sell it, get top dollar. Then you got your $30, $35 a square foot if you're going to, use a contractor, but you're going to go ahead and sub it out yourself as owning the property or controlling the property, because you're able to do that, right? And then, if there's mechanicals like roof, electrical, the foundation, plumbing, all that good stuff, right? That can turn in from $35 to $65 to $70 a square foot. Also, you got to remember the square footage of the house. If you got an 900,000 or 800 or 1,000 or even 12 to 1,500 square foot, not too bad. Get in easy peasy, 2-3 weeks. If it's maybe like 3,000-4,000 square foot house, like some of these I've seen in the Midwest, right? Price is super cheap, but you got a 4,000 or 5,000 square foot house. You go, man, that's like a little mini mansion. You know how much it's going to cost? And then when you open up those walls, you don't know what the hell is going to be inside that shit, right? That could be astronomical dollars when it comes down to stuff like that. Even if it's a house built maybe like in 2018, 1920, or 2018, maybe in the 2000s and up, right? The bones are usually pretty good. If you're in Southern California, you got the stucco and all that good stuff, foundation, depending on the type of builder, because they all got their little quirks on things that happen over and over based on how they build. But it is what it is, right? That type of stuff, it can cost you some money, right? Sellers don't understand that. Well, hey, there's $100,000 in the property. Well, you know what? It's going to take like $8,000 just to paint the inside, right? And that's even if we use labor and pay for the paint, right? Not going with a professional painter. You're going to try to get 3 bids that are going to work. And, then you got to clean up the property. Is there any things that have to be repaired? Are you going to change out some flooring? Are you going to change out the kitchen, the bathrooms, right? So they have new ones, and just give it a nice cosmetic rehab to get top dollar. Now, obviously things are happening, and some people are like, hey, I'll hotel it. I'll just clean it up, put it back on the market. A lot of people are doing novations, right? So novation's super hot. I would have never thought that was going to be hot, because that used to be like a commodity. Not even commodity. It used to be like what's the word I'm looking for? Where it was like something that not everybody did, right? It was just a novelty. It was a novelty thing that some people would do. And now it's becoming a thing, right? Only because instead of having a license, you're going to try to novate the property and get some control and then list it and sell it. It is what it is. It's good and bad and all that good stuff. People are blowing it up. People are kicking ass doing that stuff from some of the people I've talked to. So congratulations to them. But I like to always make sure that you got some control and total control of the property of some sort. and to be able to, do what you need to do if the house burns down, or, other things that can happen, so just making sure and disclose when you're writing up the properties and contracts, right? And just keeping that relationship going and do what you need to do. Fix, flip, buy, hold, or whatever it may be. Cash flow. There's a lot of things that are happening with, the small entry fees and things of that nature. If it works for you, awesome. So there's a lot of good people that are doing some awesome stuff out there. Even the guys and gals that are mentoring, a handful of them are doing beautiful, lovely things. Others are just not, right, or don't show up to the party, and coach disappears, the company or whatever, or people or things, or, it's kind of, it is what it is, right? I'm not here to beat anybody up, but the bottom line is that's what we do, right? We're a little bit different. We're one-on-one mentoring. It's what we do. We work with you. We get in the ring. We help you. We train you. Our goal and our byproduct is doing deals. So if we do deals, we make money doing deals. So we've got some deals in the pipeline that are here in Southern California, Texas. We're looking at the Texas, triangle, all the way from Dallas-Fort Worth to Houston. Not really a fan of Houston because of the tornado, alley thingy, and then you got the floods that roll in. Not a fan of floods. Austin, Texas, obviously. I don't think it's even connected to Dallas-Fort Worth quite yet, but it will be. Maybe Musk has already built some tunnels, I'm pretty sure, right, to connect to the Texas Triangle, which would be cool. What else? Missouri. I got stuff in Missouri, Kansas City, cool. Probably cool for wholesaling and things of that nature, but, they're a little quirky and kind of weird down there as well in regards to, just movement, right? Here's my little theme with movement. East Coast, number one, always find stuff. They're always on top of stuff, and then it takes about maybe 3 to 6 months before it gets to the West Coast. And then about, with trends and things that are happening, really real estate or even fashion and music. And then it usually takes about another 6 months or so, 3 to 6 months before it gets to the Midwest, right? So they're like the last on the list before anything ever happens or they know about, and kind of get stubborn in their ways, right? Kind of live in a bubble a little bit. And even with like Texas as well, with some of the titles, man, it takes 7 days to get a title report. Oh my God. And then it comes back all shitty. You got to fix a bunch of stuff. It's like, what the hell is that about? California, you press the button, 24 hours, 72 hours to run it. Boom, it's here. You know what's going on. Pay for a preliminary title report, rock and roll, get it done. And in other states too, right? The ones that have it with the full disclosure, non-disclosure states, that's a term. Non-judicial and judicial states for that type of stuff is a term that, you're definitely going to want to find out when you start getting into creative real estate investing or get a little bit further in your career with real estate. So definitely I'll share those things. Probably today is Wednesday. So happy Wellness Wednesday. Thursday, I'm going to be out in the field. So I'll probably be at some properties, maybe go live with this thingy here and the old iPhone and hopefully writing up some contracts with a couple people that are actually out there in the Southern California area that we're going to be helping our fellow Americans. We got some stuff in Missouri. What was that? I'm not sure if that was an earthquake or if that was a jet, but it shook. Anyways, and that's the thing. You're probably going, well, shit, California has earthquakes. Midwest has tornadoes. What else? Oh, you got the Gulf of America. Yeah, storms, right? East Coast, West Coast, storms. Not too much on this side, or I should say the West Coast, mostly on down in Florida, right? You get those crazy, how they call them? I would say blizzard. It's not a blizzard. That'd be the Midwest, right? Alaska. You get, I want to say tsunamis, but one thing we get those. Whoops, let me see. You go check something out here. But always live and uncut. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. See what we got here. Here. Boom. Okay, it's cool. We're going to go there. Got it. Just checking a couple things here. Surfing for deals. Definitely jump on that if you can. And definitely here, jump on the Creative Real Estate Domination. GetErickPaulLive, hashtag that lovely thing. I'm not sure what this one is. That's just the American Mentee Program. Cool. I'm going to go all the way back up here for a little bit of Wellness Wednesday to wrap this up. We're at about 34 minutes. If you have any questions, definitely DM. We're touch base with us, looking for deals throughout the United States of America. We usually like to concentrate wherever we have a mentee, and there's boots on the ground. We're papered up. Then we'll go in that area like Missouri, Ohio, Montana, Texas Triangle, right here in our own backyard. So we're looking about 5 rock and rollers that want to come aboard and work with us exclusively. So you can definitely, there'll be some links probably somewhere, or just get in our little ecosystem. And it might be here. I'm not sure, but let me see if I can pull it up with the QR code. And this is, I want to book some time with myself. Would be the easiest way right there. Scan that QR code. book some time with myself. And if we move forward, it'll be with myself and my team. And if you come aboard, we still use human beings to onboard people, to bring them aboard and get them rocking and rolling. It takes about 24 to 72 hours. But look, I challenge you, as I always say, right? Challenge you, employee, to reach out if you need some help. One way or another, you got my number and you've watched videos or we've talked, you need some help, definitely reach out, okay? So we're looking for those deals, fix, flip, buy, and hold, friendship deal investors as well. And definitely share and pass on the good word. I appreciate it. And go ahead and scan. You can scan that QR code right there if you want to book some time with me and see if we can get rocking and rolling. I'm going to put this up here really quick. Where's it at? Surfing for Deals is right there. Scan that QR code. Happy Wellness Wednesday. I'm Erick from AHA, Americans Helping Americans in the AMP Live Real Estate Show. Keep on rocking and rolling. Rock and roll in all that you do. This video will be obviously chopped up and monetized over the different social media platforms. Rock and roll. Good luck to you out there. Hopefully you're kicking butt. You know, remember at the end of the day, the golden rule: treat others as you'd like to be treated. PMA, positive mental attitude. Rock and roll in all that you do. We'll talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye. Go out there and help your fellow Americans. It's a beautiful, lovely thing. Okay, let me see. We'll put this right here. Put my mug back up. Boink. There it is. Rock and roll. Bye-bye. Talk to you soon.